withdraw your presence, and you'll become the ghost that haunts their peace. There's no magic spell to make someone miss you, but there is a way to become someone who lingers in their mind long after you're gone. You don't need to chase. You don't need to explain yourself. What you need is stoic precision, the kind that shapes your habits, your silence, your energy into something unforgettable. Hey folks, imagine this. You walk out of a room and the silence left behind feels louder than your voice ever did. You're no longer texting constantly, not checking up on them, not explaining why you pulled back. You're just gone, but not forgotten. Because your habits, your energy, your presence left fingerprints all over their subconscious, like the echo of a favorite song they didn't know they'd miss until the radio stopped playing it. That's what we're talking about today. You see, most people are trying to make others miss them by doing the exact opposite, by overgiving, over-explaining, over-chasing. That's not mystery. That's noise, and noise fades. What lasts is the impression you leave behind when you walk away with dignity, when your actions speak so loud they can't forget you, even if they try. My friends, attention is cheap. Absence, when used with power, is priceless. The Stoics never taught us to suppress who we are. They taught us to master who we are. And when you live by that mastery, when you show emotional control, presence, purpose, detachment, and grace, you don't just get missed. You become etched into their mind, like a carved name on the inside of their heart they can't rub out. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." And that includes the freedom to stop chasing and start attracting. But that only happens when your habits reflect the kind of person who commands respect, not demands attention. And yes, we're going to have some fun too. Because this journey, it's not about becoming cold. It's about becoming calculated. It's not about playing games. It's about playing your position. You're not disappearing to make them miss you. You're evolving in silence so that they're forced to notice what they lost. That's stoic power. That's magnetic transformation. So buckle in, because we're about to walk through 7 powerful stoic habits that will rewire how you carry yourself and how they perceive your value. These aren't gimmicks. These are identity upgrades. Do not skip any. Each one is a part of the blueprint to make you unforgettable in their world and undeniable in your own. Now stay with me, because by the time we're done, you won't need to ask if they miss you. You'll feel it in the way they start showing up differently or crumble silently from your absence. Get ready to adopt the habits that put you back in control. This is how you make them miss you for real. Now say it loud in the comments, "On their mind tomorrow." And remember these 4 words, become worth missing today. Habit 1. The mystery of self-control. They thought your silence was weakness until it became the one thing they couldn't control. Here's the habit that flips the entire game in your favor: self-control. But not the watered-down version people throw around in social media captions. I'm talking about the kind of control that leaves them confused, hungry, frustrated, and obsessed. The kind that makes them miss you, not because you said something dramatic, but because you didn't. You held back. You didn't react. You became unreadable. And in that silence, their mind turned on itself. Let me paint the picture for you, my friends. Imagine they poke at you, expecting the usual flare-up, the text storm, the voice note, the paragraph explaining how hurt you are. But this time, nothing, just calm, stillness, poise. Now imagine them staring at their phone, watching the silence stretch into hours. They thought they had you figured out. They thought you'd break, but you didn't. And in that moment, their ego starts to itch. Their confidence cracks because your reaction was their control, and you just took that power away. And yet, here's the lie society sold you, that reacting fast is emotional honesty, that yelling is passion, that immediate replies are love. No, that's not strength, that's addiction. That's operating like a puppet on strings, tugged by their moods, their silence, their coldness. But you're not here to be predictable. You're not here to be controlled. You're here to rise. And you rise by not giving them the drama they're fishing for. You see, when you react without thinking, you feed the illusion that they still own space in your head. They want you to crack, to chase, to prove you still care, because that gives them comfort. But when you don't, when you pause, when you choose silence over explosion, that's when they start to panic. That's when the image they had of you, someone they could predict, trigger, manipulate, begins to fall apart. And what replaces that image? Mystery. That beautiful magnetic mystery that comes from not knowing what's going on in your mind anymore. Suddenly, you're not someone they can study and play like a game. You're an enigma, and humans don't miss what they fully understand. They miss what they can't explain. But I won't lie to you, this isn't easy. You've probably been wired to equate expression with love. Maybe you think if you don't say how you feel, they won't know. Maybe you fear that silence means they'll move on. But here's the truth. If they only stay when you're reacting, they were never connected to you. They were connected to the chaos. True connection doesn't come from emotional outbursts. It comes from presence, from restraint, from knowing exactly who you are and not needing to prove it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Now imagine how powerful that makes you in their eyes. You're no longer triggered by their actions. You're not fazed by the games. You're not sending follow-up messages begging for clarity. You're calm, unbothered, in control. And that control? That's the exact thing they didn't expect. It's what haunts them. They will sit with the silence. They will play your last words in their head. They'll try to figure out if you're angry, detached, or over them. And the longer you stay calm, the more their mind creates answers that never existed. That's how you make them miss you, not with volume, not with rage, with restraint. This habit is not about being cold. It's about being deliberate. You're not avoiding expression. You're mastering it. You're making every word, every pause, every shift in energy intentional. That's the difference between someone who's impulsive and someone who's unforgettable. You want to leave a mark, you want to live rent-free in their mind, then stop handing them your emotional blueprint. Stop letting them anticipate your every move. Let them wonder, let them guess, let them sit in their own silence and ask themselves, did I lose them? Did I go too far? Are they done with me? Let those questions gnaw at them while you go on living, growing, glowing. Remember, self-control doesn't mean you never speak. It means when you do speak, it matters. It cuts through the noise. And when you're silent, your absence makes more noise than any message could. That's power. And make no mistake, they will miss the old version of you. The one that used to overthink, overreact, overgive. But they'll miss the new version even more. The one they can't figure out, can't shake, can't stop wondering about. That version? That's who you're becoming now. So next time they try to get a reaction, give them a reflection. Let them see a person they no longer have control over. Let them feel the difference. Now drop it in the comments. I choose self-control. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you that your silence has become sacred, that your energy is no longer up for negotiation, that you are reclaiming your power, one breath, one pause, one unread message at a time. Stay with me, because the next habit will unlock something even deeper. How saying less, but meaning more, creates emotional echoes they can't escape. You've started the storm by becoming still. Now let's make the silence unforgettable. Habit 2. Speak less, mean more. They didn't miss your voice. until it stopped filling the silence. This habit, it's dangerous in the best possible way, because the moment you stop talking just to be heard and start speaking only when it counts, you shift the entire dynamic. You move from being background noise to becoming a signal their mind can't ignore. You're no longer one of many voices in the crowd. You become the one voice that echoes when everything else goes quiet. Most people speak just to fill the gap. They talk too much when they're nervous, text too often when they're insecure, and explain too much when they're scared of being misunderstood. But what if you stopped doing that? What if your words became rare, deliberate, sharpened like a blade, not cold, not dismissive, just intentional? Picture this. You used to be the one who sent the long messages, who checked in first, who always had something to say when the energy felt off. You were the one trying to bridge every emotional gap with explanations, reassurances, and constant noise. And at first they liked it, they depended on it, they got used to the comfort of your constant availability. But then it became expected, and what is expected is taken for granted. Then one day you go quiet. Not ghosting, not petty silence, just stillness. You stop trying to overexpress every thought. You stop explaining your worth. You begin to realize your presence is felt more when your words are fewer. And suddenly, the silence becomes uncomfortable. For them, not you. They sit there refreshing their messages, wondering why you haven't said more. They overanalyze that short reply. They miss the paragraphs you used to send, because now every word you say carries weight, and when words carry weight, they echo long after they're spoken. This is where the lie needs to be broken. You've been told that love sounds like constant communication, that being present means being talkative, that silence means something's wrong. But the truth? Presence isn't noise, it's impact. And sometimes the loudest thing you can do is say nothing at all, because when your words are no longer on tap, they start to crave them. When your voice isn't flooding their phone, they lean in to hear what you'll say next, if you say anything at all. Seneca said, "Speech that's short and sweet is most effective." The Stoics believed in measured language, not outbursts, not oversharing, because what you reveal constantly loses value. But what you hold back, that becomes mystery, and mystery creates emotional pull. It's not about being distant, it's about being precise. They'll start wondering, why are they quieter lately? Are they pulling back? Did they stop caring? These questions don't come because you're cold, they come because your energy has shifted. And in that shift, their comfort turns into curiosity. Their ego, once bloated from your emotional availability, starts to shrink, because you're no longer speaking to seek closeness, you're speaking from clarity. And I know this won't feel easy, especially if you've been conditioned to believe your value lies in what you give, what you say, how much you pour into people. But here's the truth. You are not a faucet. You are not meant to be left running just to keep others warm. Let them sit with the silence. Let them feel the absence of your voice as a privilege they lost, not a guarantee they'll always have. This habit doesn't mean you turn cold. It means when you do speak, it lands. Your tone is grounded. Your messages are clear. You don't need exclamation marks and emojis to prove you care. You don't over-explain yourself just to be understood by someone who's not listening anyway. You've left the realm of noise. Now you speak to resonate, not to be heard, but to be remembered. Imagine them reading that one short message from you and sitting with it for hours, rereading it, wondering what you meant by it. That's power. Not because you're manipulating, but because you're finally valuing your own voice enough not to waste it on the unworthy. This is emotional precision. This is mastery. This is where you stop being predictable and start being magnetic. And let me tell you something real. They will miss the flood of words you used to send. They will miss your morning check-ins. They will miss the just wanted to say hi texts. But more than that, they will miss how your words made them feel safe. And now that those words are gone, so is the comfort. And now, every silence from you hits like a wave they weren't prepared for. So here's the shift. Speak when it matters. Pause when it doesn't. Let your silence be a canvas, and your words, brush strokes. Say just enough to stay unforgettable. Leave the rest to their imagination. That's what makes your presence expand in your absence. Now I want you to type this in the comments. I speak with purpose. Let the world know that your words are no longer up for waste. Let them know that you've stepped into a version of yourself who is calm, calculated, and incredibly powerful with your voice. Because in a world that talks too much, the person who knows when not to speak becomes unforgettable. And don't go anywhere, because next up, we're diving into something even more intense: how to make your absence feel like a presence, not by disappearing, but by becoming impossible to replace. Stay with me, you're just getting started. Habit 3. Make your absence a presence. They didn't understand how loud your absence would be until it echoed through every silent moment. This habit is the one that truly haunts them. It's not about words, not about reactions. It's about what happens when you're no longer there, but they can't stop feeling you anyway. When your energy was once a constant in their world and now it's gone, and the silence you leave behind becomes deafening. That's the secret no one talks about. That's how your absence becomes a presence they can't escape. Let me ask you something, my friend. Have you ever walked out of someone's life, quietly, without a scene, without drama, and noticed how they started showing up again, little by little? A like on an old photo, a just checking in message, a vague attempt to reconnect. And you wondered, why now? It's because they didn't feel your worth when you were in front of them. They felt it when you weren't. Most people are addicted to presence. They crave constant availability, the texts, the calls, the daily validation. But here's what they don't realize. What's constant becomes background noise. What's absent becomes a question, and questions turn into obsession. They might not admit it, they might act like they're fine, but when someone who used to be part of their everyday world suddenly vanishes, without bitterness, without begging, without explanation, their brain doesn't rest. It starts scanning for your energy. It replays your voice. It revisits your pictures. They tell themselves they're just curious, but deep down, they're feeling something they didn't expect: regret. And here's where the lie needs to be broken. You've been told that distance ruins connection, that being out of sight means being out of mind. But the Stoics knew better. They knew that detachment doesn't weaken desire, it sharpens it. Seneca said, "Absence sharpens love, presence strengthens it." And that's the formula. If you want to be missed for real, you can't always be there. You have to become scarce enough to be longed for. Let's get one thing straight. This habit isn't about disappearing to punish them. It's not about ghosting or playing cold games. It's about disciplining your energy. It's about removing yourself from spaces where your presence is no longer respected, and allowing your absence to do the talking. Because trust me, your silence carries a weight they won't forget. Your lack of availability creates a vacuum they don't know how to fill. And suddenly, the memories start flooding in. The way you looked at them, the way your voice softened in late-night conversations, the way you made them feel safe, even when they didn't deserve it. That's when it hits them. You're not there anymore. Not texting, not calling, not reaching out just to check in, and they're left wondering, where did that energy go? Who's getting it now? Why aren't they the center of your world anymore? That's the sting. That's the consequence of taking someone for granted. They don't lose you with a fight. They lose you with silence. It's powerful. But I'm not going to lie, it's also painful. Because part of you still wants to explain. You want to say, I pulled back because I wasn't being appreciated. You want closure. You want acknowledgement. But here's the truth. Real power doesn't beg to be acknowledged. Real presence is felt long after you're gone. So instead of chasing closure, give them the experience of your absence. Let it do the work. Let it whisper louder than your voice ever could. Let it burn in the quiet moments when they realize what they pushed away. You're not punishing them. You're prioritizing you. You're choosing peace over noise. And in doing so, you're transforming from someone they thought would always be there to someone they're not sure they'll ever get back. This habit is rooted in one word: discipline. It takes discipline to stay quiet when you want to reach out. It takes discipline to hold your value when your heart wants to pour it out. But when you do, you stop being someone they could control and become someone they'll chase in their mind every night they can't sleep. Let them feel the silence. Let them wonder if they ever meant as much to you as you did to them. Let them scroll through their phone and feel that sickening drop in their stomach when they realize you haven't posted, haven't called, haven't needed them like you used to. And here's the irony. They may act like they're over you, but your absence will expose the truth. Because the more silent you are, the louder their regret gets. And the more distant you become, the closer they'll try to get to the version of you they didn't appreciate until you were gone. Now I want you to make a declaration in the comments right now. My absence has power. Say it. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world around you that your worth does not need to shout to be noticed. You don't have to explain your value anymore. You just have to withdraw it. And let the emptiness it leaves behind tell the story. Stay with me. Because in the next habit, we're going to shift even deeper, from absence to action. We'll explore how walking with purpose, not permission, makes you unforgettable, even when you're not around. The silence got their attention. But your purpose? That's what will keep you on their mind, tomorrow and beyond. Habit 4. Walk with purpose, not permission. They stopped chasing when you stopped waiting, and started walking like you had somewhere to be. This is where everything shifts. The moment you stop walking in circles around their validation and start walking with purpose. The moment you stop checking if they're watching and start building a path so powerful that they can't look away. When you move like you've already been chosen by destiny, you stop needing to be chosen by people. You want them to miss you? Then let them see what it looks like when you move forward without them. Let me paint the picture. You used to pause your plans to text them back. You used to shrink your goals so the relationship felt balanced. You waited for their attention, their approval, their invitation to rise. You lived like you were standing in line, waiting to be called forward. But here's the brutal truth. They'll never respect someone who puts themselves on hold, because waiting isn't attractive. Purpose is. Waiting makes you look uncertain. Purpose makes you magnetic. Imagine this. They check your story expecting the same old routine, but now they see you focused, sharpened, evolving. You're showing up in new ways. You're building, creating, thriving. And not once do you stop to explain it to them. You're not being loud about your growth, but it's obvious. And now, they're watching, quietly, curiously, a little jealous, a little afraid. They thought they could come back whenever they felt like it, but something about the way you're walking now says, you might be too late. That's what walking with purpose does. It replaces their power over your emotions with your power over your direction. And the lie starts to break apart. The one that says you need them to be complete, or that you'll never find better, or that you should wait to see if they change. That's not patience, that's emotional imprisonment, and it's time to break out. See, when you walk with purpose, you don't walk for attention. You walk for alignment. You don't post to provoke them. You share because you're proud of what you're building. You don't chase anymore, not because you're bitter, but because you're finally too focused to look back. And yes, they'll notice, maybe not immediately, but eventually, because attention comes and goes. But purpose is impossible to ignore. They'll start to wonder why they're no longer the center of your orbit, why you no longer show up in their DMs or linger in their notifications. And the answer is simple. You stopped living on standby. You stopped waiting for them to figure it out and started figuring yourself out instead. And when they look around and see you moving, not crawling, not explaining, not hoping, but moving, they realize you've outgrown the version of yourself that needed them to feel whole. That's a wake-up call no message could ever deliver. But let's not sugarcoat it. It won't be easy. There will be days when you want to turn back, days when you miss their presence more than you love your path. That's natural. You're human. But this is where discipline kicks in, because your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by direction. And that direction only becomes clear when you stop trying to pull people along who were never meant to walk beside you in the first place. The Stoics were clear about this. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That's not permission seeking. That's identity creation. That's declaration. And when you declare who you're becoming, you stop letting the past decide your pace. You don't need their permission to heal. You don't need their apology to grow. You don't need their love to feel worthy. Your purpose is not a performance. It's a path. And when you walk it fully, eyes forward, spine straight, heart anchored, they will feel it. They will feel your absence. They will feel your detachment. But most of all, they will feel your rise. Because while they're checking for signs that you miss them, you're out there becoming the person they were never ready for. And when they do come back around, don't forget, this version of you wasn't built to be revisited. It was built to move forward. And maybe they'll whisper to themselves, "I should have held on when I had the chance." But you won't stop to hear it, because by then your eyes will already be on the next mountain. That's what makes you unforgettable, not just because you were special, but because you had the courage to keep becoming even when they let you go. So here's your moment. Type this in the comments right now. I walk with purpose. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world around you that you're not here to be chosen by anyone. You're here to be chosen by your own mission. You're here to move like you were born to lead, to grow, to rise. And anyone who failed to see your worth will have to watch from the sidelines, while you become what they never had the vision to hold. Stay close, because in the next habit, we go even deeper. Now that you've stopped walking with permission, it's time to take it up a level and learn how detachment, real, disciplined, emotional detachment, makes your presence impossible to replace. We're not just moving forward anymore. We're creating distance that leaves an imprint, and they're going to feel it every day. Let's keep going. Habit 5. Detach to attract. They didn't expect your silence to be this powerful until your detachment became more attractive than your attention. Here's the truth they never saw coming. The more you let go, the more they hold on. The more you stop reaching, the more they start thinking. And the second you detach, not with spite, but with strength, you become magnetic. Not because you're playing games, but because you finally realized you were the prize all along. Let's be real, my friend. You used to overthink every little interaction, every message, every silence. You held on tightly, thinking that your closeness would earn you loyalty, that the more you gave, the more they'd stay. But what did it actually earn you? Emotional exhaustion, confusion, repeated cycles of feeling not enough. Because here's the brutal truth. What you cling to runs faster. What you release comes back on its own. Now imagine this. You've finally stopped checking their last scene. You've stopped watching their stories. You've stopped wondering if they're thinking about you. And now they feel it. Not because you slammed the door, not because you made a scene, but because the energy you once gave so freely has been reclaimed. You're no longer orbiting them. You're now orbiting your own purpose. And that shift, that's what triggers them. That's what unsettles their ego, because they were addicted to your attention. They fed on your emotional availability, but now it's gone, and their mind starts playing tricks on them. Are they done with me? Who are they giving that energy to now? Why don't I feel them anymore? That's the storm detachment creates. And here's what most people get wrong. They think detachment means you don't care. That's the lie. The truth? Detachment is proof that you've grown strong enough not to need constant reassurance. It means you still care, but you care about you more. Stoic philosophy isn't about suppressing your feelings, it's about mastering them. And detachment is the ultimate emotional mastery. You observe, you feel, but you don't react. You can love someone and still walk away. You can miss them and still choose your peace. You can remember everything and still not return to what broke you. Marcus Aurelius said, "You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you." And those words hit different when you're finally tired of the emotional seesaw, when you're no longer hooked by their absence or flattered by their breadcrumbs, when you've outgrown the need to be chased because you've learned to choose yourself. Detachment is powerful because it breaks the invisible cord they were using to control your emotions. That cord was made of memories, habits, unspoken rules, and you just cut it. Clean, quiet, no explanation needed. And now you become the ghost in their story, the one they thought they'd always have access to, the one who would always respond, always forgive, always show up. But this time, you didn't, and it haunts them. Because nothing shakes someone's ego like realizing they lost access to energy they thought was permanent. But let's not pretend this shift is easy. Detachment requires strength most people never develop, because attachment feels familiar, it feels safe, even when it's toxic. Walking away? That's stepping into the unknown. That's stepping into freedom, and freedom comes with loneliness at first. But you know what else comes with it? Power, peace, self-respect, and eventually, attraction on a whole new level. Because once you detach, you're no longer triggered by their silence. You're not trying to prove your worth through communication. You're not available on demand. And that mystery, that emotional independence, it becomes unforgettable. They don't miss the words, they miss the feeling of being around someone who gave them everything and could take it all away without blinking. They'll miss the comfort, they'll miss the safety, but most of all, they'll miss the version of you they thought they could play with. You're not punishing them. You're not seeking revenge. You're just choosing not to bleed for someone who didn't even bring you a bandage. That's not bitterness. That's healing. And here's the paradox. Detachment doesn't make you cold. It makes your warmth selective. And selective energy is powerful, because when they see you pouring into your goals, your peace, your self-worth, without asking for anything in return, they realize they've lost access to something sacred. You used to crave their love. Now they crave your presence. You used to seek their approval. Now they wonder if you ever needed it. You used to chase their attention. Now your silence screams louder than any message ever could. That's what happens when you detach to attract. You stop being the one who begs to be seen and become the one who is impossible to forget. So here's your moment. Write this in the comments right now. I detach to attract. Let it be known. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world that your energy is sacred now, that you're done trading your peace for temporary attention, that your value doesn't depend on being needed. It depends on being aligned. Stay with me, because what's coming next is the most emotionally dangerous habit yet. In Habit 6, we're going to break open the art of emotional precision, how to express yourself not by volume, but by impact. You've learned how to detach. Now it's time to learn how to express in a way that leaves them thinking about you, long after the words have left your mouth. Let's go. Habit 6. Emotional precision over emotional explosion. They weren't scared of your rage. They were haunted by how calm you stayed when they expected chaos. This is the moment where your power stops coming from how loud you are and starts coming from how deliberate you are. Because when your emotions no longer explode but strike with precision, you become unforgettable. You stop being someone who reacts and become someone who impacts. See, most people don't understand this kind of power. They believe being emotional means being expressive in the loudest way possible. They yell, rant, text essays, storm out, cry out loud just to be real. But here's the lie. Real doesn't have to be messy. Real doesn't have to be noisy. Real can be controlled, measured, and undeniably powerful. And when you shift from emotional explosion to emotional precision, they feel the change in their bones. Let me take you there. Imagine a moment where everything inside you wants to scream. You feel disrespected, misunderstood, hurt. They said something that cut deep, or worse, they said nothing at all. And you're standing at a crossroads. One path is familiar. React. Call them out. Argue your worth. Unleash your fury and pain like a fire that burns everything in its path. But what does that path really get you? A few moments of dominance, followed by days of regret. Now imagine the other path, the Stoic path, the stronger path. You take a breath, you pause, you don't suppress your feelings, you own them. You choose your response, you don't explode, you land your words like arrows, sharp and intentional. No drama, no performance, just clarity, just composure. And that silence after you speak, that's where they start to panic. That's where they feel the shift. Because let me tell you the truth, anyone can yell. Anyone can break down when things go wrong. But the one who can stay still while everything's shaking, that's the one they remember. And this is where most people go wrong. They think staying calm means you're not hurt. That being controlled means you're disconnected. But it's the opposite. Your calm isn't the absence of feeling. It's the presence of self-respect. It's the proof that your emotions don't control you. You control them. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." And when you raise your standards, your estimate changes. You stop giving energy to things that used to destroy your peace. You stop responding to people who never deserved your access in the first place. And that's where the game changes. They were used to your emotional chaos. They knew how to provoke you, how to pull reactions out of you like levers. But now, they say something cold and you just smile. They delay a reply and you go live your day. They try to guilt trip you and you reply with measured truth, not rage. That scares them more than any outburst ever could. Because now you're not just controlling the narrative, you've mastered your role in it. You're not giving explanations where silence says more. You're not repeating yourself to someone who never heard you the first time. You're not reacting to every shift in their behavior. You've become a mountain where there used to be a wildfire. And trust me, they feel it. They miss the old version of you. The one who'd spiral, the one who'd double text, the one who'd show up emotionally bleeding just to prove your heart was real. But you've evolved. And what they don't realize is, Emotional maturity is the most intimidating glow-up of all. Now your affection is measured, your boundaries are firm, your presence is earned, not handed out like candy. And when you speak, it's not noise, it's impact. Your words aren't guesses, they're guided. Every sentence leaves them thinking. Every pause leaves them wondering. Every refusal to react teaches them something about who you've become. And who you are now is not someone to be toyed with. But don't get me wrong. Precision doesn't mean numbness. It means your love is clean. Your anger is structured. Your sadness is processed, not dumped. You're not pushing emotions away. You're putting them in the right containers. You're not avoiding truth. You're delivering it with timing and tone that hits harder than shouting ever could. And yes, that's work. It takes discipline to unlearn emotional reactivity. It takes strength to break patterns where drama felt like connection. But if you want to be missed, respected, and remembered, you don't get there by being loud. You get there by being unshakable. Because here's the reality, they don't forget the ones who raged. They forget the ones who begged. But they never forget the ones who stayed calm when they expected chaos. The ones who stood in stillness like a storm was beneath them, not inside them. That's power. That's you now. So drop it in the comments right now. I lead with emotional precision. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world around you that your feelings are not wildfires anymore. They're weapons of awareness. You don't react just to be seen. You respond to be felt, deeply, permanently, purposefully. And now that you've mastered emotional precision, get ready, because the final habit is the anchor that holds everything together. In Habit 7, you'll discover what it means to show up for yourself first, and how that transforms the way people show up for you. You're no longer building for attention, you're building from alignment. Let's finish strong. Habit 7. Show up for yourself first. They started missing you the moment you stopped needing them. This is the habit that flips the entire story. The one where everything changes, not when they come back, not when they apologize, not when they finally get it. No, everything changes the moment you show up for yourself first, when you stop waiting for someone else to pick you and start picking yourself every single day. Because let's be honest, there was a time you didn't. You woke up and the first thing on your mind was them. You made plans around their schedule, adjusted your mood to their moods, and measured your worth by how often they reached out. You lost track of your own reflection trying to stay visible in theirs. But here's the truth they didn't tell you. When you abandon yourself to keep someone else, you lose both. And the lie that if you just love them harder, show up more, stay patient, they'll finally see your value. But that's not how it works. People don't respect what they can take for granted. They don't cherish what's always available. They don't miss someone who's always around. They miss the person who decided to choose themselves. That's why this habit is the foundation of everything. Because when you start showing up for yourself, you stop chasing, you stop begging, you stop performing for people who never clapped. You're no longer asking, will they come back? Instead, you're asking, am I becoming who I was meant to be? Imagine waking up tomorrow and instead of reaching for your phone to check for a message, you reach for your goals. You drink your water, you get your body moving, you start your work. You move through your day not in reaction to someone else's silence, but in response to your own purpose. Now that's power. That's when they start to miss you, not because you're gone, but because your energy is no longer orbiting them. You're grounded now, rooted, centered, and from that place, your presence becomes impossible to ignore, even when you're not in the room. They'll scroll through your life and feel the difference. You're glowing, not because of them, but because of the peace you gave yourself. You're smiling, not because they made you happy, but because you've found joy in your own damn company. You've become full, and fullness is attractive in a way that desperation never will be. Marcus Aurelius said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself." And when you realize that, you stop waiting for someone else to deliver what you were always meant to give yourself. The gym becomes your temple. Your goals become your obsession. Your boundaries become your shield. Your peace becomes your non-negotiable. And it shows. Your eyes are clearer. Your presence is lighter. You're not burdened by the need to be needed anymore. You've risen above the performance of being the perfect one for someone else, because now you're becoming the real one for yourself. And here's the thing, people notice. They may not say it out loud, but they feel it. They feel the withdrawal of your emotional availability. They feel the void where your validation used to live. They feel the absence of your constant checking in, your updates, your efforts to stay relevant in their life. And suddenly you're not predictable anymore. You're not someone they can just text when they're bored. You're not someone who fills in the emotional gaps they neglected. You're not the one waiting. You're the one moving. And that movement, that's what makes them miss you. That's what makes them question everything. Did I lose them for good? Why does their energy feel different? Are they finally over me? Yes, maybe you are. Or maybe you're just finally into you. Because when you start showing up for yourself, everything changes. You stop accepting the bare minimum. You stop rationalizing red flags. You stop hoping they'll meet you halfway when you've already walked 90% of the path alone. You've stopped negotiating your value. You've stopped making exceptions for people who made you feel like one. And the most beautiful part? You no longer need them to miss you to feel worthy. You're not building your confidence on the shaky ground of someone else's attention. You're building it from the inside out, brick by brick, routine by routine, discipline by discipline. That's why showing up for yourself is so powerful. Because it's not just about self-care, it's about self-respect. It's not just bubble baths and candles, it's doing the hard things. Waking up early, holding your standards, saying no when it's easier to say yes, choosing silence when drama is calling your name, forgiving yourself for shrinking, and promising never to do it again. And from that place you become unshakable, you become magnetic, you become unforgettable, not for what you gave to them, but for what you gave back to yourself. So let this be the declaration that seals the transformation. Drop this in the comments right now. I show up for me first. Say it with your chest. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world around you that you're no longer abandoning your own heart to keep a temporary connection. You are committed. You are focused. You are building something within that no one can take away. And now, take a breath. You've walked through 7 powerful Stoic habits. You've detached. You've walked away. You've found calm in the chaos. And you've finally remembered who you are. The version of you they miss isn't the one who begged. It's the one who rose, the one who grew in silence, the one who healed in private, the one who no longer needs to be needed. That's you now.